Hey, what's up guys? Matt here, and once again, I just want to put together another video for you guys. This time we're going to do a video on a piercing that's been getting really popular lately, and that's the Doth piercing. The Doth piercing, most commonly pronounced Daith piercing, but that's not actually correct. It's actually pronounced Doth, just like the word goth, but with a D. Even myself included, I used to pronounce it Daith forever until I learned that it was actually Doth. The Doth piercing, this piercing sits on the inner part of the ear, right below the rook piercing. If you're not sure where that is, go ahead and Google it. But a big reason why this piercing has been getting so popular is there's a lot of articles floating around the internet right now talking about how they relieve migraines and headaches and stuff of that nature. I'm sure you've read them, we've all seen them. And is there any truth to that? You know, I don't know. I definitely do a lot of Doth piercings on a lot of people who come to me who suffer from migraines and are looking for a little bit of relief. And I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from it. Who knows what are the factors causing that? But I have been doing Doth piercings and people have been saying that it has been giving them some relief. I've even had a few doctors send clients to me just on the basis of why not? You know, give it a shot. You have nothing to lose. So one thing I definitely want to address about this piercing is I know a lot of people come in here trying to seek some sort of relief from migraines and headaches, and that's why they're getting the Doth piercing in the first place. But definitely take that with a grain of salt, okay? There's no scientific evidence proving that this actually takes away or gets rid of or even helps relieve migraines or headaches. According to like Chinese medicine or acupuncture, it is an acupuncture point, okay? And it is an acupuncture point that is known to relieve migraines, and that's the whole theory behind getting a Doth piercing. I have definitely myself heard a lot of positive feedback about Doth piercings and relieving people's migraines, but once again, that's gonna be different for everybody. You know, there's so many different variables that could go into that. Who knows? But just know if you are seeking to get this piercing for migraine or headache relief, definitely go into it knowing that it might not work for you. And if anything, you're just gonna get a really cool piercing out of it. So don't go getting your hopes set too high and just, you know, go into it a little bit more informed and educated and just knowing that it's a cool piercing and take it for that. And if you get anything else out of that, that's awesome, that's amazing, okay? Doth piercings, you know, your average Doth piercing can take about 2 to 3 months to heal. So 2 to 3 months, whatever jewelry you end up getting pierced with, you kind of leave it in there and not change it until it's totally healed. 2 to 3 months being probably the soonest you want to change out your jewelry. Jewelry is usually going to be, for starter jewelry, just a regular curved barbell. Usually like to pierce around a 16 gauge 3/8. That should give you plenty of room for healing, draining, discharge, all the funky stuff that goes along with that healing process. Or you can also do a captive bead ring. Captive bead rings are great too as long as you get the proper size in there. For me, I like to pierce and start Doths off with 16 gauge 7/16. And then later on, you know, give it 2 or 3 months down the road. If you want to, you can totally downsize those piercings, no problem, okay? Another question I get a lot is, how do you actually take care of a Doth piercing? Well, for a Doth piercing, I know it's so tucked inside your ear, it's kind of tricky to do saltwater soaks. But still, just like any other piercing, you don't want to rotate or spin it while it's healing, and you never ever want to put hydrogen peroxide or alcohol or Neosporin or Bactine or any of that stuff on there, okay? Once again, it's just always going to be way too harsh for it. So still do saltwater soaks, but you got to get a little more creative with it. In case you're not familiar with this saltwater soaks, so I'm sure most of you are, just go to the grocery store, get that gallon of distilled water in the drinking water section. Any grocery store has it. Then from there, go to the salt section, pick up some non-iodized or some all-natural sea salts, okay? Both those really cheap. When you get home, it's 4 teaspoons of the salt, pour it into that gallon of distilled water, shake it up, and that'll just give you like a big jug to keep around the house. Now, once or twice a day, you're gonna take maybe a coffee cup, fill it up with the saltwater solution, microwave for a few seconds, so it's like barely body temperature, and ideally, you wanna soak it. So ideally, you would just turn your head to the side, dunk your ear in there, kind of rest your head on the cup, and let it soak for a few minutes. Now, because this piercing is so tucked inside your ear, it might be a little tricky to actually soak it. If you can't manage to do that, the second best method would be to do a compress. Now, for a compress, you want to use a paper towel. All right, take a paper towel, fold it up, dunk it into that warm saltwater solution, and just kind of press on your ear and let it soak for a few minutes. All right, make sure when you're doing your compresses, never use Q-tips or cotton balls or anything of that nature, because that's just gonna leave a lot of fibers behind, which could cause a lot of problems, okay? So just paper towels if you're doing the compress, but definitely try and do the saltwater soaks first. That's gonna be a way better method of cleaning and healing a Doth piercing. So there you guys have it, okay? Hopefully that answers most questions you're gonna have about a Doth piercing. And now when you go to get that piercing, you can be a little more informed. And if you have any other questions, definitely go in there and seek out a professional piercer in your area, and they should be more more than happy to help you out and kind of steer in the right direction and get that piercing for you, even perform that piercing for you if you're looking to get it done. So thanks for watching, you guys. As always, we'll see you guys next time.